I don't know about you, but gravity kicks my butt every single workout. And sometimes I get tired of it. So let me take you through how to go ahead and get after gravity and maybe make it a little bit easier. And bands allow you to do that in so many ways. Essentially, any body weight exercise that you do, you can assist with bands. It's all about setting up the vector correctly so that it can assist you. Let's take you through two simple body weight exercises that I know all of you want to be able to do, all right? But you know gravity is getting after you. And so let me show you how to get after gravity, all right? We've got my pull-up bar here, okay? Simple pull-up bar in the door. I've got two bands hooked up. I got a purple large band and I got a red small band. Now the red small band is going to help me because I don't need as much assistance with my push-up exercise, so I'm going to go less assistance with that. But man, my pull-ups are tough for me, so I'm going to go more assistance with that. So I got my purple band here. Now when I do my pull-up, I'm going to put it right on my shin. I'm going to go ahead and hook my hands here. Let's get this one out of the way for a moment. And let's go ahead and hook it right there, and that's how I'm going to set myself up. So you can see how the band is stretched out, ready to go ahead and assist me as I go into my pull-up. Hey, I got gravity now. I own gravity. So I can pull on up, and I can really work at a nice, solid, comfortable pull-up movement. Man, right from there, I can take this out. Now, if you need assistance with your push-up, no problem. But hey, I don't need as much assistance with my push-up, so I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to assist myself at my trunk because you know what? Trunk is where everybody struggles when it comes to push-ups. I'm just going to drop down very easy. I got my assisted push-up right there. And now I can really work on my control of my push-up. And I can go as fancy as I want. One-arm push-ups, plyo push-ups, whatever you want to do. Put them on a stability ball, I don't care. But the point is that if gravity is kicking your butt, you want to go ahead and you want to assist it with bands. It works out very well. You can do it with any body weight exercise. Now, let's get the ground reaction. So, ground reaction, kicking your butt, I can understand that because you know what? It does it to everybody. Matter of fact, it's what everybody struggles with, and that is being able to deal with the ground. So how are we going to change that? Well, first of all, you got to understand what's happening when you're hitting the ground. It's not just a direct vertical force, okay? In most cases, unless you're jumping straight up and down, it's not going to be a direct vertical force. And even when you're jumping straight up and down, it's not going to be a direct force because you got the joints and the alignment. Everything's going to be kind of having a little bit of what we call shear force on it. Now, the biggest one, though, that really gets after us is walking and running. Those are the ground reaction forces that really tear us up, especially at our knee, our ankle, and our hip. And if you got low back issues, hey, your disc is going to take some hit on that as well. So let's start learning how to control shear forces. Let's start there. How can I go ahead and decrease ground reaction forces? Well, let me show you first of all what's happening with ground reaction forces so that you understand what's going on. I'm in the band right now. When my foot goes forward, it's going to plant into the ground, all right? The momentum of my body going forward is going to create a shear force that my joint and my muscles are going to have to deal with. Now, when I'm in the band, all right, and I step back, now the band is pulling me forward. So not only do I have the momentum of my body pulling me forward, but now I have the momentum of the band pulling me forward. So when I go into a lunge, there's a lot more shear force coming at me, and I've got to learn how to deal with it. That is how we're going to accelerate or make ground reaction forces more challenging. Well, let's stop there. Let's reverse it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop out of this band, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop into this one. And what you're immediately going to see is, well, we're going to change it up. So now, when I do my lunge, the band is actually going to assist me and make ground reaction forces super smooth, super light. So now, if you have a knee joint, hip joint, if you have a low back issue that doesn't allow you to go ahead and handle ground reaction forces, well, with the band, you can go ahead and do that because now the band is going to lighten up and make that shear force very easy for you to handle. All right? So as a result of that, now you're going to be able to start doing lunges. Once you start learning how to do lunges with the assistance, you drop the band out. You learn how to do them with body weight. And then step yourself back into the band and make it more of a resistive lunge. That's how you go ahead and handle decreasing ground reaction forces. Let's talk about momentum changes now and how you can go ahead and modify an exercise to decrease momentum. Because momentum is going to be one of those things that's going to go ahead and get after you. And if you don't learn how to control it, and using bands you can control it very easily, you're going to start getting in trouble. So let's talk about it so you understand it. Momentum. Alright, as I'm going ahead, let's use shuffling as an example, because shuffling is an exercise we do in the frontal plane that very often is going to help us improve our agility and balance and our athleticism, because the frontal plane is very often where we get in the most trouble. So let's talk about decreasing momentum. Well, if I go ahead and I shuffle out in this motion, can you see how the band is stretching out? As it stretches out, it's slowing me down. Therefore, as I accelerate out quickly, the band is going to slow me down. What is it slowing down? Slowing down momentum. So as I'm in this position and I'm shuffling out quick, the band is slowing down momentum. So, very easily, if you want to work on shuffling movements and you're concerned about being able to do them, the best exercise to choose is the one that's going to decrease momentum, which in this case is what we call accelerated concentric movements. Alright? So you're going to work on the acceleration part of the movement, alright, and not the deceleration part. So when I go out here, I'm accelerating out. I'm not working on deceleration, I'm only worried about getting out quickly. It's going to be a very easy way for a lot of people to work on their accelerated movements and not worry about getting momentum problems as they're working in the bands. Now, let's flip that, alright? Now we got to talk about working on deceleration. Well, deceleration, it all comes down to timing and getting used to your footwork and making sure that you're handling and under a pressure that you comfortably can handle. In this case, I'm using a medium black band. If you're working on deceleration work and you got to go to a red band to help control it because your footwork isn't good, your control isn't good, that's not a problem, because you're not going to overstretch the band, because you're going to work in a small amplitude of movement. So now I've just gone ahead and I've worked at improving my acceleration out. Now I got to work at improving my deceleration. Well, in the shuffle movement, it's all about getting that good leverage. So I'm going to work on good leverage, I'm going to work on coming out, and I'm going to work on good leverage coming back. I'm going to work at a slow tempo so I learn how to get my footwork down. Once I learn how to do that, I'm going to come out and I'm going to try to increase the tempo, and I'm going to do a short amplitude movement of 2 steps and see if I can teach myself how to do that. Now, once I start getting that down, now I'm going to go ahead, work on 3 steps, and then come on back. Step it out, 1, 2, 3, and come on down. Notice, all I'm doing is increasing the amplitude of the movement. I'm gradually going to increase my speed as I start to feel more control, alright? As I get more control, I get more rhythm, I'm now going to go ahead and get more speed because I trust my body, I trust my decelerators. So that's how you can go ahead and help change momentum by simply looking at, okay, what portion of the exercise am I going to work on? Am I going to work on the acceleration part of it? I'm going to work on the deceleration part of it. If I'm working on the deceleration, understand momentum is going to go up. You're going to have to learn how to handle it. Slow it down, make the amplitude short, and get used to it. And then gradually bring yourself up as your rhythm starts getting better. From an acceleration standpoint, hey, get used to the movement and just add that pause. So if you're going ahead and bursting out, just pause and let yourself come on back controlled. Don't worry about the deceleration part or return part. Worry about the acceleration part. Hope that teaches you a little bit about how to handle momentum so that, for instance, locomotion drills are no longer scary to you because you know what? Now you know how to handle it.